Hey everyone! I'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like me to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and I will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I upload trending tool insights.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we really dig into the sources you send us, trying to find those key insights. Today we're jumping into something pretty fascinating. The mix of human creativity and AI. Specifically, how cutting-edge AI is really shaking things up for fiction authors. We've got company info, articles, user stories, all the good stuff. We'll try to boil it down for you.
Yeah, and our mission today really is to figure out how this company, Sudowrite, is doing things differently. Is it just another tool, or is it, actually changing the game for novelists? We'll look at how it helps with writer's block, that blank page fear, but also how it helps authors maybe keep up with reader demand, which is just relentless these days. You might be surprised, I think, at how AI can actually feel like a creative partner.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We always hear about the romantic idea of the writer alone in their room, but what are the real, maybe unspoken struggles, especially for authors who are actually successful in facing that constant demand you mentioned?
Yeah, you've really hit on something core there. The sources we looked at, they kept bringing up this one big pain point. Successful authors, they'd publish a book, and literally the next day, maybe even sooner, readers are asking, okay, when's the next one? It's this incredible pressure. A lot of authors just couldn't write fast enough to satisfy that hunger. And aside from that pressure, writing is, well, it's a very solitary thing, isn't it? Just you, the page, day in, day out. It can be incredibly draining. Isolating.
Yeah, that classic struggle. And I wonder, does that demand, that pressure from readers, does it make writer's block even worse, like a vicious cycle?
Yeah.
So where does Sudowrite fit in here? You said they started back in late 2020, applying AI specifically to fiction writing.
Exactly. They were kind of the first movers, really focusing modern AI on the specific problems novelists face.
And they're the most popular now for that.
Yeah, seems like it. For that specific use case, fiction writing, they're the name that comes up most often. And what's really interesting, I think, is their philosophy. It's all about putting the writer in charge. That's their phrase. They make a point of saying they're not like some competitors who, try to spit out an entire book for you. And honestly, it's largely slop.
Right, generic stuff.
Totally generic. Sudowrite's goal is different. It's about helping people write better books, but also faster, keeping that human element central. And it helps that it was made by writers for writers. The founders, Mick Gupta and James Yu, they were writers themselves. That gives them a lot of credibility in the community.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. But practically speaking, what's it actually like using it? Because the descriptions we saw, people say it feels like having a partner, someone sitting beside you, bouncing ideas off you, giving feedback, always there 24/7. That sounds pretty different.
It really is a shift. It aims to make writing less of that isolated struggle and more of a dynamic collaboration. It's not just generating random text. The AI looks at what you've already written, your plot, your characters, your themes, and then it suggests things, dialogue, descriptions, even plot twists that actually fit your story and your style. It also gives you tools for structure like chapter planning and helps with editing. The idea is it speeds up the whole process, and crucially, it learns your voice over time. So the suggestions become more and more tailored to how you actually sound as a writer.
So, okay, the benefits seem pretty clear then. You get speed, right? Busting through writer's block, getting more words down, hitting deadlines. That's huge.
Definitely.
Then there's quality and authenticity. It helps improve the story, but without sacrificing the author's unique voice. That's key.
Absolutely critical.
And all that potentially leads to more revenue, more growth. Faster, better books mean happier readers, maybe more sales. It feels like it changes the whole psychology. Less lonely grind, more partnership.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And practically, it's a web editor, works on Windows, Mac, Linux. Simple. You can export your work easily to a Word doc, one click. And they've got this private beta Chrome extension too.
Oh, what does that do?
It lets you use Sudowrite features like rewrite, describe, expand, even visualize directly inside Google Docs, so you don't have to switch back and forth.
Handy. And yeah, just a reminder for you listening, if you're curious to try this out, we did put a link for the free trial in the description.
Something else happened recently, too, just a couple of months back, early 2025. They released something called Muse. And this was, well, it was a pretty huge moment, actually.
Why is that?
Because it was the first AI model built specifically for writing fiction. Just fiction. And this points to something kind of counterintuitive we saw in the sources. As the big AI models, the ones from the major players, got bigger and supposedly smarter, they actually got worse at writing fiction. Better at facts, maybe, but worse at storytelling.
Huh. What do you think that is?
Well, the speculation is they get trained on everything, right? The whole internet. But fiction needs nuance, style, emotion. Maybe getting better at average text makes them worse at specific creative styles. Plus, and this is a big one, all those major models have censorship built in, filters.
Right, and that's a huge problem for fiction, isn't it? Stories often need to explore difficult stuff. Sex, violence, drugs, complex human experiences.
Exactly. You can't tell certain stories if your tool refuses to write about anything potentially controversial.
So Muse doesn't have those same filters.
Apparently not in the same way. Sudowrite's angle is helping writers tell the stories they want to tell without that kind of external judgment or restriction from the AI itself. And because Muse is purpose-built, trained likely on tons of fiction, it delivers longer passages of text that stay consistent in style and tone, much better than the general models. They talk about storytelling intelligence. The AI isn't just predicting the next word. It's trying to understand plot, character, theme. That's its edge.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So who's this actually for? Who's using Sudowrite right now?
Well, the sources break it down into a few groups. First, your professional authors. These are folks writing full-time or maybe serious part-timers. They publish, they monetize. For them, it's about quality, consistency, speed, and beating block, all while keeping their voice.
Right, the pros.
Then you've got serious, aspiring authors, people who really want to get published, go pro eventually. Sudowrite can give them structure, maybe some guidance, help them lift their writing to that next level, sort of like a writing coach in some ways.
Okay.
And then there are hobbyist writers, people just writing for fun, personal fulfillment. There may be a secondary focus, but the tool can still help them with, structure and getting ideas down.
And you mentioned the user numbers earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Over 22,500 paying users. That's quite a few writers betting on this.
It is. It shows significant adoption. And it's not just users. The media coverage is pretty broad, too. We're talking The New Yorker, The New York Times, Washington Post, Wired, The Verge, even The Atlantic and Vanity Fair.
Wow, so it's definitely crossed over into mainstream awareness?
Yeah, it's not just a niche tech thing anymore, and the testimonials are quite strong. We saw one from a pro author, Erwin, who said, it's allowed me to speed up how I write. It's been like the greatest tool that I could ever find for me.
High praise.
And The New Yorker calling it a salvation. For a literary magazine, that's really saying something. Even Sudowrite's own website copy kind of captures that feeling. Try the AI writing tool with unparalleled story smarts. Sudowrite is the non-judgmental AI writing partner you always wanted.
Non-judgmental. That feels important, going back to the solitude and pressure we talked about.
Exactly. No fear of looking silly, bouncing ideas off it.
So, for you listening, if you're intrigued, if you're thinking, maybe this could help your writing, what's the barrier to entry? How easy is it to get started?
They seem to have made it pretty easy. All the plans start with a free trial. No credit card needed up front, which is nice.
Always good. Removes that friction.
Yeah, and canceling is straightforward if it's not for you. Then they have different price tiers based on how much you write. They use a credit system. Think of credits like your allowance for using the AI generating words, getting suggestions, that kind of thing.
Okay, so how does that break down?
Well, the basic tier, Hobby and Student, is around $10 a month if you pay annually. That gets you 225,000 credits a month. Good for lighter use. Then the professional tier, more for novel writers, is about $22 a month, billed annually. That gives you 1 million credits a month.
1 million. That sounds like a lot.
It translates to a lot of words, yeah. Enough for a full novel draft, probably more, depending how you use it. And then there's a max plan for really prolific authors, maybe publishing multiple books a year. That's around $44 a month annually. That gives you 2 million credits a month. And importantly, those credits roll over for a year. Plus, you get a little 30-minute setup session with someone from their team.
So options for different levels of need and commitment.
Exactly. Clear paths depending on whether you're just dabbling or doing this professionally.
All right. So wrapping this deep dive up, the big picture seems to be that Sudowrite isn't about AI replacing authors. Not at all. It's more about empowering them.
Yeah.
Right? So giving them this smart, supportive partner to tackle the tough parts of writing.
Yeah, it's an accelerant, a block breaker, a collaborator.
Helping them speed up, maintain quality, stay authentic, whether they're just starting out or they're seasoned pros trying to keep up.
Precisely. It helps overcome hurdles and maybe makes the whole process less intimidating and more efficient, which, leads to this really interesting question to maybe leave you, the listener, with. As AI gets better and better at this kind of creative collaboration, how does that change what it even means to be an author? And thinking bigger picture, what kinds of new stories, new forms of storytelling might pop up when you have this close fusion of human imagination and, increasingly sophisticated AI, especially for stories that maybe push boundaries.
That's definitely something to chew on. What does authorship look like in 5-10 years? Fascinating. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Sudowrite and the world of AI-assisted fiction. Hopefully, it's given you some food for thought about how new tools in writing or maybe in your own field could unlock potential you didn't even know was there.